Hi, welcome to Breakthrough Church Daily Devotions. We are following the book of Exodus for our daily devotions. We are still in Exodus chapter 20 verse 15, commandment number 8, do not steal. I think many will agree with me if I will say that there is rampant corruption in the Philippine government. In fact, the Philippines ranks high in the most corrupt nations in the world. Let me start with the police. The National Police Force is widely regarded as one of the most corrupt institutions in the country. They are reported to have been involved in drug syndicates, extortion, kidnapping, and all sorts of criminality. We are all familiar with the word tong. It refers to protection money given to police or bribes so that they will turn a blind eye to some traffic infractions. Reports of the police and military engaging in corruption, extortion, and being involved in local rackets are widespread. Another government agency reported to have gross corruption is the Customs Administration. There is a high risk of encountering corruption with dealing with the Customs Administration. Companies indicate that the irregular bribes and payments in import and export procedures are very common. Many companies indicate they expect to give gifts when obtaining an import license. Companies cite burdensome import procedures and corruption at the border as being among the most problematic factors for importing. A business survey indicates that the Bureau of Customs was the only agency receiving a rating very bad when it came to its commitment to fighting corruption. People also complain of corrupt practice in public service. In a 2016 survey, approximately half of business executives reported being asked for a bribe by someone in the government. Nearly 3 out of 5 business reported expecting to give gifts in order to get things done. We call this as under-the-table deals or lagay in Tagalog. Philippine officials involved in processing documents related to civil and property registration and building permits are more likely to solicit bribes. There is a high risk also of corruption when dealing with the tax administration. Around 1 in 7 companies indicate they expect to give gifts in meeting with tax officials. Companies indicate that they perceive that only 1/5 of businesses in their line of business pay their taxes honestly. Officials of the Bureau of Internal Revenue are believed to be prone to corruption and known for embezzlement and extortion. Even low-level public procurement lacks transparency, fostering a culture of corruption through a misuse of the pork barrel system, which are funds for discretionary use by the representatives for projects in their respective districts. This pork barrel system has been the source of corruption among congressmen and senators. In recent years, several of these congressmen and senators were prosecuted for corruption in their pork barrels. The local government units like the governors and mayors, even to the barangay level, we hear of so much corruption. Just several years ago, a provincial official was banned from running public office due to the corruption in the purchase of land, which is mostly underwater. Bribery, extortion, embezzlement of public funds, and other forms of corruptions plague the Philippine society. Now, I believe there must be something wrong with our culture and our Filipino value system for this evil to endure in our society. We are labeled as the only Christian nation in the Far East, and yet we still rank high in the corruption list of all the nations in the world. Our culture of patronage and colonial mentality has greatly influenced the corruption of our society. Now, the evangelical church of the Philippines has a very big role to play in addressing the solution to the corruption of our society. To fight corruption, Christians must resist being corrupted themselves. The gospel must penetrate to the very core of our value system. Christians can start by participating in prayer movements that takes authority over the forces of evil and strongholds operating in every sector of the society. And in their own churches, the Christians can intensify their holistic evangelism and transformational discipleship. The pastors can include in their preaching and teaching ministry a a more holistic worldview of biblical Christianity. Discipleship and community transformation is the key. The Bible says, you are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Christians in the Philippines, it's your time to shine.